Hey Glow Getters, it's your girl Ariel Rose.
And I'm Khadijah J.
And welcome back to Grind and Glow. How have y'all been? How have you been?
I've been good, living life, adulting.
So this is adulting for me, right? So I just got back from spring break not too long ago. I'm expecting to walk into my house to a check from the state of Georgia for my tax return.
Mm-hmm.
But what do I walk home to? Literally a mountain of mail, not one check in there, but hella bills. And I was like, wow, this is what adulting feels like.
Literally, like.
It was so sad. Like, I literally had to sit down because it's seriously like a mountain of mail. I had to sit down. And then I'm like tearing things up because, you know, like you don't want all your information out in the world.
Right.
So, like, this was a process. And all I was waiting for. And there was no check.
I understand, because you know what I did this past weekend? Paid $1,400 for my car to get serviced. Because, you know, they always find something else. So,
oh, absolutely.
You know,
you cannot go in there
I went in to get
out.
my oil changed and tires rotated, and it was like $100 But my car is almost 2 years old. But apparently one of my tires had more pressure than the others, and it was about dead. So I had to get 4 new sets of tires, fluids in my car, new engine carbon filters, all that stuff. So, you know, being an adult, spending $1,400 on your car.
It's a lot of fun.
Lots.
Adulting is inevitable. We might not be good at it.
No.
But we're forced to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So
sidebar, all y'all little teenagers that be like, I can't wait till I get older when your little parents make you mad.
You don't want it.
You don't mean it.
It's a gag.
It's a whole gag. It's a setup.
It's a setup.
It's a whole setup.
Word.
I promise you it is. It's a setup. So enjoy it while you can. You think you're not living life because you have, what rules? I don't even know what to call it. Like rules, like enjoy the rules. I promise you.
So, like I said, adulting is like you don't get a choice in it.
Nah.
You're gonna get older. You're gonna have to have more responsibilities. But like sometimes the hardest thing about adulting, even to yourself, is like making your parents realize that you're adulting.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when you're in your young, like 20s.
Absolutely.
And especially when you first go off to college.
I was just going to say, especially when you leave the nest and go to college.
Especially when you first go off to college. And if you go back home in the summer and you just basically survived, you might have had like a little, you basically survived, you know, your first year doing whatever really you want.
And you see that difference when you come home. It's kind of like they kind of try to give you leeway because you're in college. But it's kind of like when you come back home, it's like, why are you questioning where I'm going? Like, I lived a whole year away from home. Why does it matter where I'm going? Why does it matter how late I'm out? Like, because when I was away, you couldn't tell me anything.
Right. Exactly. So, some things, you know, to kind of make yourself seem like an adult and make your parents see you as an adult is not whining, for one, when you don't get your way.
Pretty much.
You know, I'm like, seriously, that's definitely not the way to seem like an adult
at all.
Is by whining to your parents about something, because that's the quickest way for them to look at you like a toddler.
Literally. They're going to be like, oh, you want to act like a child? You want to cry like a child? Okay.
I'll treat you like a child.
And that's their favorite line. I'm going to treat you like a child.
And ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody.
So that's what I'm saying. Stop it.
Vocals.
Oh, Jesus. Lord have mercy. Anyways. Yes. So, like, that's seriously just the easiest thing you can do.
Yeah. Something else, y'all, making your own appointments. I will say, I kind of still depend on my parents sometimes, like, not to make the appointments, but they'll literally have to tell me. I'll tell them something's wrong, and they'll just be like, Khadijah, make an appointment. And I'm just like, but Khadijah, make an appointment. Okay, fine, I guess, whatever. So it's just like, you actually have to take that initiative. And it's like, if you don't do it, it's not going to get done, regardless of what kind of appointment. If it's a doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, car appointment, any type of appointment that you need, they're no longer going to set those up for you. So if you forget and miss something that's important, like, they're not even going to remind you. Like, that's your job. Point, right? So it's like, once you forget, like, you SOL.
Ain't no more morning wake ups. You better wake yourself up.
None of that. None of that.
Because that's like, you still need your parents, basically like your second opinion. Like, we come up with a lot of stuff, and usually maybe it makes sense. Possibly. We hope it does. But like, for the longest, we're still gonna need our parents.
Oh, yes. That's like, I seen a meme, and it was like, if my mama say I can quit, then I can quit. And it was so funny because, like, that really happened to me before. Like, I did that at plenty of jobs. I would talk to my mom about it first. She'll tell me her opinion and pretty much say, if I feel like I need to quit, then quit. So guess what? If my mama say I can quit, I can quit. I don't need
That's
job.
How you really feel.
Literally.
I'm crying. Yo, I wish I could have seen her neck bobbing and weaving while she said that, because I'm crying right now. Anyways. No, but because even I had to fill out something like for my research position, actually, because so it's paid. So, like, you have to fill out those
W2s.
Forms. Yeah.
I still be texting my
girl,
like,
what? I sent a picture of that and sent it to my daddy. I was like, can you please tell me what I'm supposed to fill out on this? Because Lord Father himself knows that I don't know what I'm doing still.
I still do, because for the longest I always put 0, and then I kind of like, I feel like I'm kind of more of an adult now, so I'm like, do I need to keep putting 0 or do I put 1? So I actually get to put a number on there now.
Right. So I didn't know that either. So I put a 1 on there.
Yeah. So I'm like,
yeah, I didn't know
that's something new.
Right. So, oh my gosh, yeah. Because even like with your FAFSA and stuff like that, like, if you use your parents' information or not, I'm going to still use my parents' information. What y'all do, that's up to you. But please believe I'm still using Amos. Anyways, I really tried to finesse my parents into paying my Amazon Prime bill too, and it just did not happen. So there's that.
And then the Amazon Prime ain't even that much. Right. They know they could have did that.
Listen, Linda.
They know they could have.
Because it's like the student one too. You feel me?
Right.
Anyways,
it's a whole discounted price.
But also, we're saying like, get your parents for a second opinion, but also showing them and yourself that you have opinions on topics and you're willing to stand by those topics. Like your position on them is really important, even if it differs from the way your parents look at something. That's honestly all the more reason to be strong in your beliefs. Absolutely. So that you can't, like, it's not something like, oh, you don't know, right? Like, if you know, nobody can tell you don't know something. I remember a teacher was saying on like the first day he had the students introduce himself, and someone would stand up and be like, oh, I'm Johnny, and be like, no, you're not, and be like, yeah, I'm Johnny. He's like, no, you're not, sit down. Oh. And like the majority of the people in the class sat down, and he was like, the point of that was nobody can tell you you're wrong about something. You know, right? You clearly know your name, right? And that was so interesting to me when he told me that story. So like, if you believe in something, you did your research on it. Now, don't be out here on some ignorant information, swearing, always everything about it.
Everything.
Look, Twitter and IG is not the dictionary. It's not your guru, and it's not always true. Okay, and we all know this. So make sure if you're learning this from a Twitter video about global warming that it is accurate. Please fact check yourself. And I have someone in mind, and they know who I'm talking about.
I'm weak.
I don't care.
On that note.
But yes, like, it's.
I think another thing I would say probably is kind of just how you manage life, like priorities, showing your parents.
That's true.
Because that is a big thing. Parents want to see if you're mature enough to know what your priorities are and what you need to get done and what comes before what. Like, okay, you may want to go out that night, but you still had other stuff you had to do. Like, you need to clean some stuff up or run some errands or do something. If you say you're going to do it, don't push it off the next day just because you want to go out, because then that's going to turn around in your face and they're going to be like, okay, so where are your priorities at? So that's something too, to show them, you know, that you're maturing and you're getting to an age where you can make those decisions and you know what's best in life. And then it's also with priorities too, definitely managing money, because that's a big one.
That is the biggest thing.
That's
like that transition of when you start working, which, you know, you can start working at maybe 14, 15, but what you're getting paid probably isn't like anything substantial. Like if you're working and you're going to college and you're not even necessarily working to pay for college, like it's very likely that you're making a lot more than you were when you were in high school and you were maybe just working the weekends or something like that. So when you actually make money, like, and we'll have a financial literacy episode in the future, just to give y'all the best information, because we'll have a guest speaker for that and everything. We have that lined up. So because we still have things to learn, so we're not going to teach that lesson, but there are people out there that do, so they're going to enlighten all of us on little ways to save, on ways to like split up your income and all types of stuff, just to make you really like set you up to be an actual adult.
Because in that like phase when you're in college working, making money, all we think about is, I want to do this, I want to buy that, so we just splurge and spend it as soon as we got it. It's
out of it. I saw this post that was like, I don't know if it was like being in college or being in my teen or my young 20s or whatever. It was like how to survive off of $17 for a week and how to spend $250 in 2 hours.
Literally,
like, if that's not the truth.
That's literally the truth. Because I didn't have times in my earlier years in college, girl, and I may have had maybe $50 and I made it stretch. Sis. When I say stretch, we was stretching. Gas was limited on certain places.
Everything.
We was filling up.
You was gonna figure it out,
right? But then it's like when you had all that money, you just blew it, and then you'd be like, "Why did I even?" And now you're in a situation just looking at yourself like, "Yeah."
And you know, you the only person that put yourself there.
And it's literally like those memes, like my bank account. Do you really need this? Me? Yes, yes, I do.
Yes, no, I've definitely learned how to survive on like honestly probably like $37
literally for
like a week. I can probably do it. It's not my choice,
right? It's not by choice, but you find ways to make it work.
It's happened.
Yes, definitely.
Everybody's kind of been there. I feel like another thing is, you know, we kind of get really hung up on other people's opinions on ourselves and whatnot, and that's kind of something you grow out of as you get older. And sometimes it's easier said than done, even as you get older, because it's something you deal with your whole life. That's not like, oh, you turn an adult and that's something you don't have to deal with anymore. That's not how it works at all. But I feel like as you get older, you gain more knowledge of self.
Oh, absolutely.
And what you're willing to put up with and not. Yeah. And it's just kind of like a liberating feeling once you finally get to a certain point in it, and you're kind of like alleviated from that stress of everybody else's opinion and what you care of everybody else's opinion, because we all go through a phase of like, bump this, I don't care about you, what you got to say, and then we have to kind of tilt it again, because there are like some things you need to care about and whatever.
And then I kind of feel like that too. It's kind of like almost in a sense related to like as you get older, because people always be like, oh, you just turned this age, do you feel different, how do you feel? And a lot of ages you don't, but I feel like when you get to certain ages, you kind of feel that shift within yourself, like, okay, I'm getting a little bit older, like things are changing. It's kind of like, okay, from in high school when you hit that 16 age point, like you can actually drive now, like you have more responsibilities, so your parents like letting you drive and stuff, it's like you have to be more conscious of that, because that is a responsibility that you do reach. And then it's like once you get to 18, okay, I got a little bit more freedom now because I can do a lot of things that I couldn't do being 18 a teenager.
Is so tricky.
It is.
You know, because that's even like, if in other countries, you know, it's like you turn 18 and you're able to everything. It's like you're 18 and you're an adult. When you're in the States, that's not the case, because you still have to
like
hit
you're
that
in that halfway point.
Because and then even when like to rent a car, you got to be 25 to not have the underage like insurance on you, extra renter fee. So it's like, when am I actually an adult? What's the number? What is the number?
And honestly, I feel like 25 is one of those ages, because with me getting ready to be 25, it's kind of like, it hasn't happened, but I feel like there's a shift coming. Like, I'm literally finna be a quarter of a century. Like,
What?
A quarter of a century. A lot of people say that, believe it or not, when you get older.
When you get older.
Change. Your mindset does change as you get older. Like someone told me, technically when I was underage, that I would like beer when I turned 21. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm never going to like beer. Beer is nasty.
Beer is
little
nasty.
Behold,
I'm weak.
Right. And little behold, I hit 21 and I love beer, y'all. Sidebar, sorry, mom and dad, if you're listening, y'all know what I do. But I love beer. I will drink me and pop me open a Corona with a lime quickly. But some things do change because when you are younger, it's a lot of stuff that you say you'll never do and that you don't like and all that.
That's
and then
true.
it's just like
So
you actually experience
changes.
life and things change and your mindset changes on things.
That is very true because like your taste buds, that's a real thing that changes over time.
Yeah.
Even just like the things you're willing to try, not even just food, but like your whole mindset as you age, you know, from that like 18 to 27, which I'm 22, so I'm just saying people I know very closely, that age range, like so much happens.
A lot
like,
happens.
A single person can change so much, and it's not necessarily like always for the better, and it's not sometimes necessarily always for the worse, and it's not one way the whole like 8 years or whatever, but
it's like you go through so many cycles
waves,
in life,
you know, it's cycles.
Yeah.
And you get hit with things that you never thought.
Life is always
you know?
hitting you,
and it really, as I was saying, it's inevitable. You're forced to adult. Like you really don't have a say in it, because I promise to God,
because there's situations you probably thought you would never even find yourself in, and you turn around and look and you're like, damn. Yeah. Like, how did I get in this situation? Right. You go from points
you're
to
the
where
only person that put you in that situation.
Right. You go from situations where, okay, you making money, you got decent. You go to situations where you may not even have a job no more, so you trying to struggle to figure out how you gonna make it through life. You struggling through relationships. The relationship was good, then it wasn't good. You may have gotten evicted, kicked out. Like, it's so many things that happen, and it's like there's no manual and rule book on how to deal with it. Like, you can only deal with it and face it once it's in that moment, and you have no choice.
That's what I'm saying. That guru ain't the guru for you, because like everybody's gonna sell you a how-to. Everybody's gonna sell you, you know, this is the route, this is the roadmap, but there's no single way for everybody in the world. You know, everybody is different and individual and deal with their own challenges and trials and tribulations, and you know, as well as their own achievements.
Right. Just because the person next to you, theirs is a straight line and yours is a zigzag, that don't mean you need to try and venture off your zigzag onto their straight line, because you don't know what their struggles were through that straight line. All you're seeing is a straight line. Right.
And we're really good at masking things, you know, like especially in the society that we're in now. Like, that's really a big thing. It's just showing the positive outcome and not necessarily how we got there. It's always learn how to make 20 grand in a month, like learn how to gain 500 followers a month, like,
but don't see what you got to do just to gain this or earn this, the blood, sweat, and tears, late nights, all of that stuff.
So, and like I was like, if I see one more ad for a webinar, I swear I'm gonna like do my own, and I'm gonna sell you a package at the end for $1,300.
And someone will probably believe it and give you that money, because people are, I mean, we're humans, gullible. Like, they'll just believe any and everything if they think it's gonna work for them.
You know, and I mean, hell, for some people it might. But I don't know. Those things, like, I see webinars. It has to be every day on my feed, either in my story posts, like story ads, which Instagram really should lower the amount of Instagram story ads they can put on a feed.
When I say I hide them every single time, and I'm just like,
can you hide them in your story though?
See, I don't know if you can hide them in the story, and it makes me so mad, because it's literally one after every person's story that you watch. Like, it's inevitable to avoid them.
Right. And it doesn't matter how fast. I'm sorry, we're like totally on a sidebar. You
really
tangent. Are. But like, oh my gosh, I just thought about that like so heavy, and I just couldn't deal. Oh gosh. No, I like, another moment I really had to adult was when I got in a car accident, and I had to, my parents don't live in the same state as me, so that was like really, really difficult. Yeah. I still need my parents. Right. I don't care. And my mom is like the most hysterical person too. So literally when I called her I had to be like, don't. I was like, don't like explode. I was like, don't be dramatic. I was like, I just got in an accident. I'm okay. Whatever. But like the aftermath of it, having to deal with it, like without them, like having to go to the hospital, having to deal with my insurance, because I have my own insurance, you know, which also is a pain in the ass because I have hella accidents.
Oh my gosh.
I have hella speeding tickets.
Oh, girl, you and me both.
Exactly, both of us.
Look, y'all, I've been speed ticket free. My name is Khadijah, and I'm a recovering addict from speeding. I have been. When was that last time I got that ticket? When we went to Statesboro? That was what, 2016?
That had to be, yeah.
It was. Okay, I have been clean of speeding tickets for almost 3 years.
Look at God.
Look at God, won't he do it?
But like the whole process of dealing with my insurance, with dealing with buying a new car, like that was the whole process within itself that I was like, and then going to the dealership, like purchasing the car myself, like even my mom was on the phone like, don't go in there by yourself, like they're gonna try to take advantage of you, you're a young girl going in there. And first of all, don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. My mom said that to me, and I was in and out of there. I got the car for the price I wanted it. If you negotiate like a boss, okay, we need to have an episode on that, because negotiating, you can negotiate anything in life. First
I negotiated pay with my job. Like, hello.
Exactly. You can negotiate
I got not one but
anything.
2 degrees. You're not finna just give me this. What you was finna give any and everybody else ain't gonna work.
So yeah, first of all, you can negotiate anything in life, but don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do. Right. Because yeah, I went in there and took care of business. So I felt like an adult that day. You know, when you get to sign your name on something that's like legitimate like that, like
trust, I know.
That's definitely an adulting step.
I know.
I didn't want to make that adulting step. Like clearly I didn't want to get to that point from being in an accident. But I mean, hey, that's what we're saying. There's bumps in the road. There's detours. That was a whole zag and a zig, sis.
The zig and a zag, zag and a zig, all the zigzags.
But we're here now. It is okay.
Right.
And it's okay.
But I will say that, like, needing your parents, because me and my mom had a conversation today, because it was so funny, because my brother and his friend are about to move into their first apartment. So I'm kind of a little heartfelt about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's growing up on me. Like, that means I'm really getting old. But I was just like, I can really see, like, when I do get my own place, like, I'm probably really going to miss my mom a lot for a while, because that's, like, anyone would say that's, like, my best friend. Right. And it's just, I've always been with her for so long, so it's like not being able to see her every day is kind of like one of those feelings like I'm gonna have to get used to it. And it's like it's starting to hit me like I'm really gonna be on my own soon. Like it's just gonna be me. It's just gonna be me. Like,
look at your face. Like,
yeah, if y'all could see my face, like it's just gonna be me.
Oh yeah, okay.
So yeah,
look, it's just another phase. It's another step.
Right.
Because some people are never by themselves. They go from one home to another. You know, they go from their parents' home to their spouse's home or to their significant other's home. Right. Or, you know, because I haven't lived by myself either.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's going to be a big step. Like, no roommate, no nothing, like, just me. Right. So, it's kind of one of those things, like, I'm doing everything on my own. Like, I'm adulting on my own. Ain't no help.
Ain't no help. We in here.
Right. Like, it's official.
Oh, my gosh. Adulting, like I said in the very beginning, does not have to be difficult, but it is inevitable. So we might as well take our best shot at it.
Right, because you can't avoid it.
You can't.
Trust
as hard
me.
as you try.
If there was a way, I probably would have found it.
Sis, if I had a choice, I think I would stay at like age 11.
11? I could see 11.
I don't even want to be a teenager. That's why I said that.
Gotcha. I mean, kind of 12ish. 12ish still isn't a teenager.
I thought of 12, but I feel like that's when like you're like going through puberty and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And I see with 11, you can still eat off the children's menu. You can still get the children's tickets at a movie theater. You kids prices because kids are technically 12 and under, so you good.
I'm crying. So 11 it is.
11 it is.
That's the consensus. All right. On that note, make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes. Please leave us a review. If you've been tuning in, you enjoy what you hear, drop us a review on iTunes. It would mean the most to us.
Yes.
Also, like and subscribe on all of our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We're Grind and Glow on everything except Twitter. We're Grind and Glow Pod. Alrighty, y'all. Good luck to y'all adulting. Good luck to ourselves.
Yes.
We're here to help. If
we can, y'all. If we can.
But like, we're doing this alongside you. You feel me? Like, as we learn things, we gonna share it so that y'all ain't gotta have mess ups like we have mess ups, and we can have victories together.
But I ain't gonna lie, being an adult be fun sometimes because you be looking at the little kids like, you wish you could. You can't stay out past 12 while I'm being a bust down Tatiana.
We gotta have the music play on that. Okay, on that note, I'm your girl Ariel Rose.
And I'm Khadijah J.
Until next time, remember, the harder you grind, the brighter you glow. See you later, Glow Getters.